What's up, guys? Johnny here. Welcome back to my channel. So today we're doing a build. Alright, so I ordered this package here from Banggood about a month and a half ago. It's the RealAcc X210 Frame. I wanted to try a RealX frame. I heard pretty good things about this, and I also wanted to try alternatives to the Emax motors I've been using, but with similar sort of specs. And this one comes with the Racerstar motors. Will I notice any difference? I don't know, but let's find out. So I figured, place this order. I think it was only about $110 for the kit. It doesn't come with the camera, it doesn't come with a VTX, doesn't come with a receiver. I'm going to add all those, but still for $110, it seemed like it might be a pretty good deal. So I went ahead and picked it up. I don't even remember all the parts that were in here. I think I ordered this thing on December 21st, and it showed up on January 31st. So I think we all know if we ever order from Banggood, you never know when you're going to get stuff. Sometimes it takes a really long time, and this was certainly the case here. So let's get it open. Let's see what parts coming in. I think it's BLHES ESCs, Racerstar 2205, 2300 kV motors. I think it's some sort of S3 flight controller, but I'm not entirely sure. I think it comes with a bunch of King Kong props. Let's open her up. Let's see. Let's remind ourselves what we got. I'll include a link below to where I purchased it and what I purchased it from. And as a follow-up after we get the build done, I'll be sure to let you guys know how it flies. So let's open her up and see how she does. All right, so let's get this opened up and see what we got here. Looks like we have some props. All right, these are the King Kong 5x4x3 props. As I understand it, these are basically a knockoff of the Dale props. And I really like the Dale props, so hopefully I'll like these knockoffs too. Hopefully they'll work well. We'll check those out later. Let's put them aside for now. We have some Racerstar 2205 2600 kV motors. So these are the 2600s, not the 2205s. My bad, or not the 2300s. My bad. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4 motors. See what else we got here. We got Racerstar BLHES 30 amp ESCs. Says they're rated for 4S lipos. These should give plenty of punch for me. They actually look surprisingly small for 30 amps. So hopefully these work out well. So we got 4 of these, 1 for each motor. Alright, here we have a flight controller. It says it's actually an F4 flight controller, not an F3. That's about all I know about it. Guess when we open it up, we'll see how it works. I guess we'll see what that is. Alright. And then here, we have the RealAcc X210 Pro frame. So X210 Pro, 4mm arms, 5-inch props, 210 millimeters total. Is there anything else inside of here? Does not look like it. Looks like that's all we get. Alright, so obviously this will not be enough to fly FPV. It should be enough to, put it on the board and spin the motors, but it's not going to be enough to actually fly it. So to fly it, we're going to try adding this Frisky X4R. So that's what we're going to use for our receiver. We have a RunCam Swift 2 that we're going to put in here. I have not tried this one out. I'm really excited. It has a built-in OSD on it. The built-in OSD should give me battery voltage right on the camera. Well, I'm curious to see how that goes. And then I have a AKK switchable 25, 200, 600 milliwatt VTX. I've heard good things. This is really cheap. I picked this up off Amazon. I think it was like $17, and yet it has fantastic reviews. So this is another item I'm curious to check out. And I don't have it right here in front of me, but I also have a TBS Triumph antenna they'll be using on the back of it. So let's get this frame open and see what's inside of here. All right, I like this. So it looks like it has LEDs that'll mount right on the back of it. I always like the look of LEDs in the back. It looks really cool. So hopefully this doesn't disappoint. It looks pretty cool. All right, I see a Maytech PDB. These are really simple. I have one of these in my 130mm quad. I think this should go together really easily. I'm glad they included this for me. I have a battery strap, some standoffs, different nuts, nylon standoffs, pretty much everything I need to put this frame together. This is packaged pretty well, pretty happy there. Yeah, this is an empty static-free bag. It's actually fully sealed up too, so it's a sealed, empty bag. I'm guessing there's supposed to be something in there, probably something I need, but I don't know what it is, so I guess we'll go without it. Alright, and then we have the carbon fiber frame here. It is a true X. This is a QAV210 clone of their X frame. And also notice there's not a single piece of instructions anywhere, so we're just going to figure this out on our own. Alright, so looking at the carbon fiber, it looks pretty clean to me. It looks pretty well put together. Hopefully it's pretty strong and rigid. Yeah, it looks good. So let's start seeing how these pieces fit together and see if we can get it figured out. But I'm excited to get started. Alright, so with no instructions, we're just going to try to wing this thing. Hopefully we can figure it out. I'm not entirely sure what side is the front or back, so we're just going to start trying to figure it out, and we'll put it on whichever way seems right. Alright, so I'm going to look at the standoffs first. So I see here that we have 2 of one kind and 4 of another. So I'll put those aside for a second. I'm assuming these 4 are going to be the main stand-ups holding it up, just because there's 4 of those. We'll need some screws to put the standoffs in, if I can remember. And my plan is just to make sure I know how the frame goes. And then once I can figure that out, I can start putting the PDB, then start putting the ESCs, then start putting the motors, and, you know, hopefully be pretty much home free from there. So let's just dump those out. Alright, so looks like there's 2 different types of screws, 2 different sizes, a small and a long. I'm going to guess I want long ones to hold in the standoffs because I don't want them to break off. Looks like there's 4 different holes for standoffs. I don't know what's what, but I'm going to guess the outer ones are probably standoff holes. That would probably make sense. Alright, so let's pretend like I have this and I know what I'm doing. Alright, so then I'd guess this goes on top, and I guess that this opening is where the camera goes. Based on having more holes here, I'm guessing that's where the front is. The camera goes there. I'm then guessing that these line up pretty much like that. This would be my guess. If that's where the camera goes, I'm then guessing these would go in the front. Probably something like... No, not like that, but... Unless that's the front. You know what? This might be better. Okay. Yeah. That seems like maybe this is the front. So if that's the front, this would line up in there. Alright, that doesn't seem right. The only thing I think I know is I think that goes there. And so the antenna can either go out the back or out this part here, probably VTX, so I can see the channel there. Maybe something like that. Thought this would be easier. This has got to be like that. If it's like that, it doesn't fit. And this doesn't make any sense. So if it's like So if it's like this, which, I mean, seems like maybe kind of sort of plausible, that means this one would go over here. Gosh. And then that means this would line up here. I mean, maybe. That leaves a lot of extra parts for me though. So then that, we'll put this here. That looks like it might be right placement for the camera. This probably needs some port here. So I'm guessing that probably comes up like so. And then maybe this goes here for more support. Let's put this through here. And then since there's one more, I'm guessing it goes back here. This is probably to control the angle of a HD camera, I'm guessing. This one looks like it's this one here looks like it's adjustable. It can slide up and down, and I'm guessing that's how you'd point your, you know, session up or down. At least I'm hoping that's what it's for. And I know I'm going to take this all apart, but I want to have an idea of what it's going to look like in the end first. Right, looks something like that, I guess, maybe, kind of, sort of. Antenna out here, VTX here. I still got these three pieces here. I'm pretty sure this is for a battery protector. Don't care too much about that right now. Alright, I took the top piece off here. It looks like it comes off pretty easily. Now I should be able to put down the PDB and get going from there. Okay. Probably going to put it out the side like that. We'll do a little pigtail on the bottom. Actually, you know what? I think I'm just going to tin this up first. Let's just go around here. Shouldn't have done that yet, but okay. Let's see what we have here. F4 flight controller. I think this is the Revo, if I remember correctly. So yeah, I'm going to have to read an instruction manual on how to use this. I think this is a Revo, but none of these pins are labeled. So I'm sure one of these is an S-bus and telemetry, but I have no idea what's what. So until I can figure that out, I pretty much have to give up. So at least these sides here, you know, I know what these are. These are for my ESCs, but it's these over here that I got to figure out. So let's go read some instructions. Let's open these bad boys up, see what they look like. So one thing I like actually is that the pins here, they're not pre-soldered. There's no desoldering I have to do. That actually makes my life a little bit easier to connect to the motor. So let's just start planning these things out, figuring out where they're going to go. Alright, let's see what I get inside the motor packages. Alright. So I got a motor with one nut on it. And looks like they give me some extra screws, or actually it's not. They got 4 screws of 2 different sizes. So don't lose these nuts, don't lose these screws. You get no extras. It's not quite like Emax where you get 3 of them. Alright, so all the motors are soldered onto the ESCs now. I want to go through, clean up this disaster, connect all the ESCs to the PDB, and we'll be in pretty good shape. So let's get that done now. Alright, now we got the VTX connected to the camera. It's all powered up, everything's on there. Now it's time to break out the flight controller, connect the PDB to the flight controller, and we're almost home free. Alright guys, so I took a break last night. It was getting kind of late. Figured I'd hit it again this morning. It's looking pretty clean. I'm pretty close to there. I am thinking about picking up an XSR receiver just because I don't have that connector for the S-Bus, and I definitely want the S-Bus. So I'm not sure I'm going to end up using the other receiver that I mentioned yesterday. But anyway, we're making good progress. It feels like it's really close. Let's get back to it. Alright, and then before I get any further, I figure I'll go ahead and just check my solder joints. Hopefully that'll show if I have any shorts. I don't think I do, but better safe than sorry. So let's break out this multimeter. And have a look. Let's do the buzzer. So make sure it's working first. I'll do something that should go like this. And that does beep, but these should not, and they do not. So beep, no beep. Alright. So now let's just check each of these. Looks good. Now let's make sure these are wired up correctly. So power to power, good. Power to power. Good. Right here I think it is. Power to power. Power to power. And lastly this one here. And then ground to ground. Ground to ground. Ground to ground. Alright, looks good. I think there might be one more right here to test. And that's good. Oh, one more right here. All right. Solder joints are all good. All right, I have an old XSR receiver where the antenna got chopped. I tried to fix it, but the reception is just not very good. So I'm going to try to use this in this cable here to go ahead and run this so that when I get the new XSR, I'm all set to go. I just got to pop it. Plus, this is good enough to at least test with locally. So looks like there's actually quite a bit of room to play around in here. I wasn't quite expecting that. I'm used to it being a much tighter fit. I'm guessing this can actually fit a little bit of a larger camera. So let's see what we gotta do. Alright, so I decided to remove the washers from the soft mounting of the flight control to save a little bit of room. And I'm going to use these clippers just to snip off the tops, and I'm just going to hope that's enough space. I'm going to leave the backs. Alright, now let's see if that did the trick. Alright. There you have it. Alright, so she's all put together. I think we'll stop there. That's kind of the build process. We'll then take a look at the software and finally give her a maiden. So be sure to catch the next video, guys, if you want to see how we get this thing configured and then what it looks like to fly. So anyway, guys, thanks. I'll catch y'all next time. Peace.